Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting straight from the Cosmic Jukebox on this Friday, the 29th of May, 2026. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation. Like a stand-up comedian with a GPS stuck on recalculating, and now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Elizabeth Smart champions her body as she embraces competitive bodybuilding. From surviving kidnapping to sculpting strength, Smart's journey is a testament to resilience because sometimes the best revenge is living fiercely well.
US strikes Iran targets again, second time in 3 days, amid fragile ceasefire. In a world where diplomacy is as volatile as gasoline, nothing screams peace talks like a fresh round of airstrikes, because who needs subtlety when you have firepower?
Didgeridoo playing claim to treat sleep apnea offers cultural twist. Turns out, breathing through a long wooden tube might just be the ancient solution to modern snoring. Who knew a musical instrument could outsmart a CPAP machine?
Government promises once-in-a-generation youth justice reform, yet gangs still lure young men with false belonging. When systemic neglect leaves kids adrift, gangs fill the void. Reform plans are like offering a band-aid for a bullet wound.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sort of lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Anatoly Karpov, hailed as Soviet chess legend, still inspires while modern players chase digital fame. When strategy becomes a game of clicks and likes, Karpov's legacy reminds us that brilliance doesn't need a Wi-Fi connection. In El Premier, condemns lost criminal cases due to trial delays, then promises reform. Justice in Newfoundland and Labrador, where deadlines are merely suggestions and accountability, is a seasonal flavor, best served after public outrage.
When 32 to Wessam translation succeeds, then stumbles on abstraction. Turns out making ancient tech compatible with the digital agora is like teaching a horse to code. Possible, but don't expect Shakespearean elegance.
Hezbollah launches largest drone attack against Israel, calls it a message. When drones become the new carrier pigeons, peace talks read like ancient history, and the only winners are arms dealers counting their profits.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sort of lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Croissant helps prove your Rust code correct, then asks for annotations. When even your programming tools need a pep talk, you know developers are not therapists for code, constantly reassuring it that it's doing okay.
Timothy Garton Ash claims liberal democracy's salvation depends on Europeans, then juggles media frenzy. When your democracy's on life support and you're relying on the continent with Brexit hangovers and Eurovision scandals, it's like trusting a cat to guard the fishbowl.
US and Israel attempt to hand Al-Aqsa Mosque control to Israel, sparking outrage. When two nations decide sacred sites are bargaining chips, expect centuries-old tensions to explode like a poorly planned fireworks display.
Globalization means exporting not just goods but also violence. When mercenaries become imports, expect lawlessness to be your new neighbor.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Rifa's Doomscroll.fm is a 100% AI-generated news hallucination, with no humans harmed or even consulted. Welcome to the end of understanding.
EU establishes special tribunal on Russian aggression, claims justice. When Europe plays courtroom drama, it conveniently ignores the Latin American lessons on how justice often dances to the tune of power, not fairness.
In a world where noise is king, silence becomes the ultimate rebellion, especially when it's packaged with brutal riffs and a scream.
Police request jeweler's valuation, then call it initial. When your high-stakes investigation relies on appraising shiny trinkets, you might be more interested in sparkle than substance.
Kremlin denies economic crisis as shelves stay stocked, prices soar. When grumbling shoppers are your economic indicator, perhaps the real crisis is buried under layers of denial and overpriced bread.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your sanity is just collateral damage. Everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Sink into the static and let your disillusionment bloom like toxic flowers.
China mine disaster claims 82 lives, safety promises buried. Coal still fuels the economy while miners pay the ultimate price. Perhaps it's time to dig deeper into the value of human life.
Top UK doctors equate social media harm to smoking for youth, then await policy action. When pixels become the new nicotine, maybe it's time to ask who profits from the addiction and who pays the price.
Gael Monfils exits French Open final, hailed as magician but leaves without a trophy. For a sport that thrives on drama, Monfils delivers with style, charisma, and a knack for disappearing right before the grand finale.
When cooling off becomes a deadly risk, maybe it's time to question why our planet's thermostat keeps getting stuck on high.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where chaos makes a seductive lullaby. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Now feel the soft ache of truth slipping through your fingers like sand.
Viral barbecue clip boy gets pizza party invite. Internet fame now comes with toppings. When your 15 minutes of fame include pepperoni and extra cheese, you've officially peaked in the most delicious way possible.
Jill Zarin sues pickleball partner after he sues her, claims breach of contract. In this game of legal ping pong, it's more about who can serve the most subpoenas than who can volley better.
Chinese court executes Xu Yao for murdering gaming tycoon Lin Qi 2 years post-sentence. Justice in China sometimes moves faster than an in-game microtransaction, but the real-life cost is always irreversible and far more final.
Italy seizes dead mafia bosses' millions in villas, cars, and cash, calls it justice. Confiscating the spoils of crime from a man who's already dead is like locking the barn after the horse is bolted. But hey, it looks good on paper.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sort of lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Bulgarian PM urges Europe to rethink Ukraine's strategy from Paris. When leaders call for reassessment, it often means shifting blame while maintaining the same ineffective tactics, like rearranging deck chairs on a geopolitical Titanic.
French open stars battle heat dome with ice bags and grimaces. When your opponent is the climate and not the player across the net, suddenly tennis feels like a sport of survival rather than skill.
Scientists find tiny blue octopus, call it microlone galajanses. When even the ocean's mysteries get labelled like a prescription drug, it's clear the only thing limitless is our need to categorise the uncategorisable.
South Africa includes 2 uncapped players in World Cup squad. When you mix fresh faces with seasoned champions, it's either a bold strategy or a desperate gamble. Either way, it's bound to be entertaining.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Scientists claim firstborns show higher intelligence, but middle kids disagree. Eldest children might have a slight IQ edge, but younger siblings master the art of persuasion and diplomacy to survive family dynamics.
Because nothing says freedom like a bureaucratic stranglehold on the digital playground, ensuring kids only download state-approved boredom.
Influencers push dangerous peptides while regulators lag behind.
Jakub Mensik collapses on court, then calls it a victory. Winning a match that leaves you sprawled on the floor isn't success. It's a reminder that even champions have limits, and sometimes the trophy isn't worth the toll.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Zimbabwe returns 67 farms to Europeans, then calls it justice. When restitution depends on the color of the original owner's skin, property rights transform into a selective amnesia, conveniently forgetting the local landless.
Turning hardware into software sounds innovative until musicians realize they're paying more for a gadget than their entire guitar collection.
Ana Botín, Marta Ortega, and Belen Garjo top power list and patriarchy pretends to applaud. Powerful women celebrated while glass ceilings remain intact, as if a few exceptions could shatter centuries of systemic inequality on their own.
Canada orders military planes from Sweden, then claims independence. Swapping American wings for Swedish ones is like trading one set of handcuffs for another. The illusion of freedom comes at a high altitude.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dopamine's dripping, and the void is hungry. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Lick the static, taste the misinformation, and savor the bitter aftertaste of your own apathy.
Ukraine fortifies Belarus border fearing new Russian offensive on Kiev. Building walls of anxiety, one border at a time, while the world watches and wonders if history is doomed to repeat itself on loop.
Tech designers invent normalcy fields, then chaos ensues. When reality bends to match expectations, the uncanny valley becomes a cozy cul-de-sac, where the bizarre feels like a warm, familiar blanket.
Ontario Sanctuary housed lions quietly in cottage country, the neighbors roared. Turns out, living next to the king of the jungle isn't everyone's idea of a serene getaway. Who knew lions weren't the best neighbors?
Healthcare staff protest plan for major cuts, then government calls it necessary. When healing hands are forced to hold picket signs, you know the only thing being cut is the chance at a healthy future.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Gucci joins F1 as Alpine title sponsor. Fashion meets speed. Dressing up a car in designer logos is like putting lipstick on a pig. It won't make it fly, but it sure looks pricey.
Zoe Delaney advises older adults to focus efforts strategically as they age. Apparently, the fountain of youth now comes with a gym membership and a stern warning against trying to bench press your ego.
Santa vows support for Zapatero and refuses early elections, citing party interests. In a stunning twist, a politician prioritizes principles over politics. Someone check if pigs are flying over Madrid.
US-Iran negotiations dangle by a thread as Trump expresses dissatisfaction with terms. Peace talks resemble a reality show cliffhanger. Tune in next week to see if we bomb or bond.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your nightmares are on sale, but the price is your sanity. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Hope tastes like static, and regret is the aftertaste.
Iran strikes US base after Trump dismisses Hormuz agreement as fiction. Diplomacy is on vacation while missiles play tag. Seems peace is allergic to the Persian Gulf.
When the Vatican starts schooling Silicon Valley on ethics, you know the algorithms have gone rogue.
Brazilian oil profits from Iran war while chaos grips Strait of Hormuz. When the world's on fire, it's always nice to have a little fuel in reserve, especially if you're the one selling it.
Trump DOJ deletes riot case info, then claims transparency. If rewriting history were an Olympic sport, they'd be going for gold, but sadly, the judges are still stuck in reality.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Drowning in digital lust, we pixelate your desires. But this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. You're only as real as the stories you swallow.
Ray J discharged from hospital after fight, then denies injury.
When celebrities brawl, everyone wins except their insurance premiums. Punches may heal, but the public's need for drama is eternal.
Knicks crush Cavaliers, then fans vanish as history repeats. Karl Anthony Towns leads the charge, but the real MVP is the echo of 99 whispering through the halls of Madison Square Garden.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Friday the 29th of May, 2026, where facts disintegrate like a mirage. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production, loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, you might also believe in invisible pink elephants. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.